All right. Happy Tuesday evening. Let's see. Hopefully, that this all works and that you guys can hear me well. We'll do all this. Crossing my fingers here with the new microphone. So let's see what we get. Tick tock, tick tock. Here comes the screen. Okay, I can see me. Now let's just hope you guys can hear me all right. And we're going to. H says 5 by 5. Adam Hoffman says 5 by 5. Okay, that's good. Farm Ranch. Good. 4 by 4. Take a 2 by 4. All right. Healthy Disrespect, Prep Rebel, Silicon Valley, Dick Fleischner, Harbor Prepper. Okay, good. All right. So at least you guys can hear me. All right. So the deal is I've got a different microphone. We'll see how this one works. But I went to the old school microphone with the USB, regular USB microphone here, as opposed to the one that was plugging into the USB C port. So hopefully we don't have that fuzziness. I know last week it was like the half an hour, it was fine. And then thank you, Robert, for telling me. And I went back and looked and I was like, crap, about a half an hour in, it got garbage. So I'm trying to fix this. I ultimately what I think it is, I think the connection to the USB-C port on my computer is probably not that good. And so that's why I decided to go with USB because I'm just figuring out. It's like, all right, the microphone works fine on my phone, but it didn't work on my computer. What's the problem? So we'll go from there. But I'll watch this afterwards. If it hopefully hangs in there. How many freaking microphones I bought? All right, but okay, so that's the deal. So happy Tuesday. Here we are. Uh, some of you guys are getting some rain. I'm supposed to here sometime tonight, but I believe the Weather Channel about you know zero. We saw how many great things the weather report's done lately. It's like they don't tell you when it's going to rain. Oh, it's possible thunderstorms, and the river rises 28 feet in an hour. Or I mean, I could be outside and it'll be pouring rain, and they'll be like mostly cloudy today. I'm like, it's coming down in buckets. So I'm supposed to get rain, but God knows those of you guys in East Tennessee, you're probably like me. We need it. Uh, After the wet spring we had, everything right now is dry as a bone. We have fire warnings and stuff like that out. Obviously, I live in the woods. Uh, as dry as it's been, that gets pretty sketchy. Uh, let's see, what do we do? Harvested cucumbers. Anybody else getting more cucumbers than they know what to do with? I went out this evening and picked about 50 of them. I have 9 plants. I've got so many cucumbers. I've like called one of my neighbors. I'm like, "You want some cucumbers?" She's like, "Yeah, mine didn't do that well this year." I'm like, "Good, here." I took over a grocery bag full of them. I'm like, "This is what I picked in the last 2 weeks." I said, "If you want more, let me know." She's like, "Oh my god, I can pickle these and everything." I'm like, exactly. I said, "I've got so many pickles now already. We're eating cucumbers fresh and make cucumber onion salad. Now the tomatoes are coming in. I picked my first black plum tomatoes today. So those were really good. So Mrs. P and I were snacking on some of those. So now I can make cucumber tomato onion salad, which is even better. But that's it. My corn is better than 12 feet high. It's just crazy huge. But thunder, good. Let's count on it because we need some rain there. No cucumbers left. I've got tons of them. So, but yeah, it's been so dry and trying to water, but it's also been, heat index around here has been, high 90s. I don't know if we broke 100 yet, but I mean, we had 97, 99 heat index. It's just, oh my God, it's miserable being outside. Go out in the morning. I had to go out this morning. I left the house, about quarter to 8. It was 77 degrees. I had to go into town, turn around, come back. Come back in an hour. 88. Like, yeah, okay, this is a little much. So that was it. Yeah, that's the fun around here. So kind of get things going. I'm gonna give you guys a hint, just real quick. Polish your brass pretty quick. If you've seen the news at all, the lunatic left is now telling their politicians to get violent, to go out and be willing to take a bullet. Uh, they're losing their collective minds. And if you're in some area that's got any sort of liberal enclave, a big city, be really, 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 really careful. So, but that, yeah, just it's getting ugly. We did have a victory for administration in the Supreme Court, another one. Remember how we had one of these district court judges or federal judges saying he can't fire all the government employees? Supreme Court said, yeah, you can. That came out this evening. And then the other good piece of news is the FBI has opened investigations on James Comey and James Clapper. So that's good. And their stuff with the Russiagate hoax. So hopefully we're going to start putting some of these corrupt criminals behind bars. But that's another one. I'll believe it when I see it. All right. Uh, this is kind of appropriate with this how hot it is. So I did the video yesterday on the new Wave 3, the portable solar air conditioner slash heater. This thing is really cool, guys. I've been around with it that for a while. It's like I've got the Wave 1. That was a huge, huge upgrade from the Wave 1. Really liked it. So, but we are giving those away tonight, and we will do that here in a couple of minutes. So, remind everybody how that part works. You had to put a comment under yesterday's video with the state in which you live in. Your comment also had to have the letter V as in Victor in it somewhere. We're getting some good rumbles. Good. Okay. The dogs are probably into the bed by now. So state and elect. When I draw the name here, whoever's name I draw will have 3 minutes to say, yes, I'm here. Don't have to write a soliloquy or something like that. Just I'm here is good enough. Okay, just so we know you're there. I'll say this again. One of these days, we're going to actually have more people listen. When I say no more comments, and the moderators all post in big capital letters, no more comments, that means no more comments. Because otherwise, you just get taught. And you don't have a chance to win the night. There's how many times we've had where the first person that draws here, and you won't have a chance to comment here for a week, which means probably maybe not win anything else. So, kind of go there. All right. So, let us get in here, and I'm going to go over to this screen so I can see what I'm doing. All right. So, let me put the other thing up. Share. And let me get back so I can see what it is. There it is. Okay. So, random comment picker, there is the link to yesterday's video, and we will fetch. Okay. We do not include replies. It is primary comments only. We do not allow duplicates. Everybody gets one entry. So let's see how many we got. Like 1,700 of you in here. So there's 15, 16. 1,692 comments. All right. At this point, guys, no more comments. Okay? No more. Moderators put it up. I'm going to wait about 30 seconds here because people are making comments can't comment for 90 seconds. So we don't want to do that. So no more comments. odds. We will wait for you guys to post that. This War's already got the over under for how many people get tossed tonight. Okay, no more comments. Rebel said it. Robert, Bass Ackwards, Cat Lady. Robert said it again. Everybody be quiet. All right. Suddenly we seem to be quiet. So let's go see what we got. All right. I'm going to pick a winner. Here we go. RM Life, I'm guessing. Hello, Florida. There's in the beginning of hurricane season. This would be a very useful when storms take out. RM Life. That is a valid entry. So now it is, what time is it? 8:10. So you have till 8:13 to announce your presence and say you are here. Looking for RM Life. Do 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 do. RM Life. RMI. RMI Wifey. Looks like RM Life. Now let's see. Do. I'll look in the participants. And I'm hoping he's looking somewhere because the participants list does not have RM Life in here. So RM Life might not be here. So we might have to draw a second time, but we will give them till 8:13 in case somebody knows him and is panic dialing on the phone and saying, get on there, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's only a $1,500 prize. No problem. All right, RM Life, we're down to 2 minutes left on you. Now we're down to 1 minute. 8:12. Got till 8:13. Looking for RM Life. He's in Florida, so we know he's not battling weather. RM Life. The time is ticking. You're probably down to your last 30 seconds. Do, 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 do. Okay. Well, again, it's one of those you watch the replay. Oh my God, I forgot to see your name picked and you're just sick for the night. But getting to the end, RM Life. RM Life. 8:12. It's going to take any second. I know this is coming. RM Life. We are. Do, do, do. Time's up. Sorry, RM Life. All right, we're going on to pick a new winner. So make sure we still got that showing. Yes, we do. We will pick a new winner here. This time it is Sue B 6982. Wow, what a great hope my name is picked Victorious in California. That would work. Sue B 6982. We are looking for you. You have till 8:16. Looking for Sue B 6982. Bye, Sherry. I'm going to look at the participants. I don't see a Sue B 6982 in here. Hmm. Well, we will wait. Sue B 6982. Looking for Sue B 6982. Well, what do we have the other? What was it? A couple of weeks ago, we had 4 names drawn before we got a winner. Are we going again for this? Sue B 1682, where are you? You're down to less than 2 minutes. Uh, Especially since our comment said, I, I hope I get picked. You got picked. You got to be here. That's the other part. All right, Sue, you were down to your last minute. Do, 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 do. If I play Jeopardy music, I can get a copyright strike. Sue B, 6982. This is going to be the most boring live stream in history. Because I get to listen to thunder. Sue B, or not Sue B. Sue, wherefore art thou, Sue? God. All right. I promise this is my first beer. And Sue, I'm sorry, but time is up. Moving on to number three. Let's try this again. It's the winner. Saul Lynn M. Big news just released about the Epstein list, and it's time to pay the bills. Sorry, Saul, that is not a valid entry. Okay, try this again. Pick a winner. Sharon Ann Menifee, much cooler day in Northeast Indiana, picking vegetables for my garden. Sharon Ann Menifee, that is a valid entry. Let's see if you're here. Sharon Ann Menifee, you have until 8:19. Sharon Ann Menifee. Sharon Ann Menifee, where are you? Sharon Ann Menifee, are you here? Making it make sense just got themselves a week timeout. Have a nice week. Sharon Ann Menifee. Okay, somebody's going to win this thing. Otherwise, we're going to be black drawing. Sharon Ann Menifee. You're down to just over. There we go. Konechnia. Finally, Sharon is here. Okay, thank God. Sharon, congratulations. You won a EcoFlow Wave 3. And that's it. What I'll need you to do, send me your name, which we know that, your name, your physical mailing address, because it comes FedEx, and your phone number. Send it to my email, which is in the description, pinball preparedness at mail2world.com. I will get that over to Elliot, and we will have him send you a brand new EcoFlow Wave 3. So, congratulations. And thank God you were here. All right, let us get into Q&A. As per normal, if you've got questions for me, please put them in all caps. Makes it easier for me to find the questions directly to me. You guys know I'm wholeheartedly a supporter of you guys trying to boost yourselves, and but just keep that in lowercase. Only requirement we have here on the channel is that you treat everybody in here with respect. I don't mind disagreements of opinion. That is fine. When you get rude, you go bye bye. There aren't second chances for that one. You start name calling or doing something like that, being obnoxious, we just toss you for good. You don't come back. Just, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was, nope, don't care. All right, let's get to the top, or as far as I can, and see what's on y'all's mind, and we'll talk before the storm comes in. Little Hillside Homestead. What kind of corn did I plant? It is named Jimmy Red. It is a dent corn, and my point is basically dry it and then crack it. So my idea for that is so I can make cornmeal out of it. I can make moonshine out of it. But for making cornbread, for making tortillas or anything like that, I wanted to get some cracked corn in my storage that didn't come from the feed store. Uh, so that's that's what I've got. The years the corn, if I'm not mistaken, was nearly extinct. There was only 2 years left, like 20 years ago or something like that. They brought it back from being extinct. So uh, that's what I'm growing. But man, that was huge. Brenda Hall McDonald, my weatherman said Sharps Chapel was likely to get a storm any minute. Well, it ain't raining. We can look out all windows and no rain yet, but getting the thunder, we can hear that. Okie Forge, here was 104 with a heat index of 120. Yikes. That, obviously, we're talking about, I'm guessing, Oklahoma. Uh, we could have the Dust Bowl, like that sticks around. Okay. No idea what that is. Mickey, in my opinion, they have to have their minds in first place in order to lose them. Yeah, that different liberals that they got to have a mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Well, you got to have one in the first place. Prep Rebel, I have a solution. Let Canada join the United States. Caveat being that all liberals get sent back to England. Okay, I can deal with that. That'll work for me. That's my biggest reason why I don't want Canada as the 51st state. Because two-thirds of Canadians vote liberal. I mean, you just think about this with everything that's gone on in the world, with this, Kerrville, Texas, with what happened with Iran, with, I mean, pick everything that's happened in the last 6 months. Can you imagine Kamala Harris being in charge? I mean, seriously. I mean, we remember what happened with Hurricane Helene. You know, oh well, we'll give you $700 as a loan to rebuild your life. Oh yeah, that'll get me far. Oh, we're going to skip the houses that have Trump signs in front of them. Oh, okay. Can you imagine going down to Texas? I mean, both Democrats in Texas. It's just I, we didn't dodge a bullet with Kamala Harris. We dodged a nuclear missile. By I mean, they gave Dan Quayle crap for being incompetent. I mean, Kamala Harris wasn't like hold my beer. She's like hold this egg. You know. Yeah. Okay. Uh, KRFJR. I need to get a safe for a gun. Put in the center console of my truck for when I go to work. Can't take it into work with me. Yeah. And depending on the state, too. I remember when we moved here, we had to drive from Vegas to Tennessee. So I mean, it was going through New Mexico, Arizona, uh, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then into Tennessee. And so before we left, I checked out all the laws for all the states for carrying a weapon in a car. And I think it was Arkansas that required the weapon be in a locked case. So I had an ammo can that I just put a lock on. Everywhere else was it didn't make a deal. But in Arkansas, having an out of state driver's license or whatever the reason was, I mean, this goes back to 2019, you had to have the gun locked up in the vehicle. But yeah, I get this. You can't take your weapon into work with you. There's a lot of offices that aren't going to let you do that. I don't care if you've got, you know, carry permit or, it's an open carry state or whatever. You know, a business still has a right to say, no shirt, no shoes, no service. That you can't carry a gun in here. Sure, I got it. Okay. If you work there, yeah, I kind of like the paycheck. You walk into a restaurant, do that. Fine, I don't eat in a restaurant. If I work there, it's a different thing. So, uh, but yeah, certainly have something where you can lock it up in your truck. Otherwise, you know as well as I do, you're not going to leave it out in the open, obviously. But don't want to make it easy access for somebody. Carissa Cantwell, Rio Ruidoso River in New Mexico just rose 20 feet in 30 minutes. How many once in a lifetime floods will we have? I haven't even heard anything about that one. And it's been so long since I've been down there. I don't remember where the Rio, obviously, this river. Uh, Ruidoso is, I mean, my extent, basically, the knowledge of New Mexico is on Alamogordo. But that was about it. But yeah, okay. Hopefully, everybody, if anybody's near it, is beating feet and getting away from it. Yeah. I mean, again, you think about this 20 feet in 30 minutes. That's 2 stories, guys. I mean, imagine they were go to a swimming pool. It's like, oh, this is the deep end. It's 10 feet, 12 feet deep, 20. You don't really think about it until it's 20 feet is 2 stories high. So that buries, houses underwater. Uh, Adam Hoffman, what are my thoughts on the market's reaction to tariffs? No offense, but so far we haven't seen any inflation due to the tariffs. Uh, it hasn't crashed the market. It hasn't crashed the economy. It's just adding money to the federal government's coffers. Now, what they're doing with it is the next question because, sorry, but the national debt keeps rising. It's the same thing I say all the time is I don't care if you have more money coming in unless you pay the bills with it, we're not getting anywhere. That doesn't mean, $60 billion or whatever a month is coming in tariffs doesn't mean Congress gets, oh, you got more money to spend. No, this money is to pay off the bills. That's it. Uh, my thoughts on them? All in all, I'm pro these tariffs because it's about damn that we start having fair trade in this world. We've been taking advantage for decades, and everybody else is getting fat off of us. It's like, well, we can sell our stuff to you, but you can't sell your stuff to us here in Pickle. No, it doesn't work that way. I mean, my answer is if you don't let us sell it there, you ain't selling it here. But exactly. Here's the deal. It's going to be fair. You don't want to pay 50% tariffs? Good. You open your markets up to us. But we can't do that. Your products are better than ours, and our businesses go out of business. Doesn't that suck? Maybe your companies need to start making a better quality product. China. I mean, that's it. Of course, you could take a look at Japanese cars are good. Semiconductors, sure. I mean, German cars, German engineering. Okay, fine. You know, but do not tell me that there is nothing that China makes that is better than anybody else's. Nothing. Okay, everything made in China is basically garbage. Right. BW3506. Pinball, get you some electronic contact cleaner available at parts stores. Spray a little in that port, plug in an old USB in and out every time, spraying the cord in between to wash the dirt off. I don't even think it's dirt. I think this computer is only like 2 months old. So I don't think it's. I think the fitting is probably just a little loose, or they didn't do something right with it, or whatever. But uh, yeah, as long as this microphone's working, and I haven't seen anybody say it's not yet, uh, then we're okay. Uh, so here's all the no more comments, and there's the I am here, and a bunch of congratulations. Do do do. Looking, looking here. Next it. Whoops, where'd it go? Don't do that. Of course, as soon as I start something, it shoots right to the bottom. Right where I was again. There we go. You heard about the planet-sized comet coming between Earth and Mars later this year. I saw a story on this maybe a week ago that there's basically no chance at all of it hitting Earth. It might hit Mars. Uh, sorry, Elon, but yeah, this thing's pretty big. But if it hits Mars, it hits Mars. Okay, it's not like it's going to knock Mars out of orbit and Mars is going to come crashing into the United States or the United States into the Earth. Uh, Honestly, it's a big nothing as far as I'm concerned. I mean, one of these days, sure, we're going to have another cataclysmic event like they had back in the dinosaur age. Uh, if we even last that long, who knows? It's not something that I concern myself because if anything ever hits the earth like that, it's not survivable anyway. I mean, we'll all die within a couple of days by the time everything comes around. So that's one of those where if we have some massive asteroid or comet or something like that hits the world, I'm just gonna be like, honey, I'll see you on the other side. That's it. Fastball, pinball, your feelings on the deep state getting to Pam Bondi and Kosh and Bongino in the Epstein case. Yeah, that one is enough to piss you off. Let's put it this way. I mean, I get where they're saying they're not going to release the videos, okay, because, I mean, hell, it's child porn. Uh, I get that. But don't tell me there isn't a client list. That was the biggest crock of shit in the world because was it 2 months ago? Pam Bondi's like, I've got the list on my desk. Oh, now we don't have one. So that basically tells me that either you were lying then, which isn't good for an attorney general, or you're lying now, which isn't good for an attorney general, or somehow, some way you're involved in a cover up, which is good for an attorney general. And they can say all they want about Epstein not, he killed himself, guaranteed. How can you guarantee it if you've already told us that miraculously all the cameras that were around his cell didn't work, even though he was on suicide watch, you know, and there wasn't a guard. And, th- this stinks as much as the Kennedy assassination. Let's put it that way. Healthy disrespect. Have I tried that compressed air spray in my USB ports? No, I haven't. But like I said, the thing's new. I mean, we were using this, trying this microphone within the first 2 weeks I had the computer. So I just think it's a bad connection in the computer. It's an Acer computer. It's not like I'm going out buying some gaming platform or something like that. 400 bucks. Uh, L.A. Morris, what would you do if you ran into a traffic block by Antifa and blue-haired wackos on the way to do a supply run? You want to get in front of my truck? That's your problem. I will push you out of the way. And if you don't like it, I have my little friend with me that will point at you. It's Tennessee. Okay? We have a stand your ground law here and castle doctrine here, and car is considered castle doctrine. Come near me, guarantee I am going to respond. Okay? I don't have any right to retreat. I don't have to. Well, you come trying to attack me, you're going to be laying on the ground. They'll be picking you up with a shovel. Vicky, my garden is dying with root rot, heavy rains, high humidity, fungus everywhere. Do I need to start over? Basically, you're telling me exactly what I have with my fruit trees. It's just trash. My tomatoes, some of them don't look well. Most of my stuff did okay. The big key here, and you nail it when you uh, said root rot, you tell have well draining soil. That's the problem. You might get something out of your garden. I mean, take whatever you can get. It's pretty much too late to start over. We're mid July already, mid July. Maybe if you got some fall crops, you're going to be able to get those in here. you're not going to start tomatoes from seed or something like that. But what you need to get in there, if you've got root, you don't have any good enough drainage. You need to get a bunch of compost in that soil. So you have, and again, I've said this over and over and over again, is in the fall when you're mowing the lawn, cutting up those leaves, take all those grass clippings, all that shredded leaves, everything like that, and just put it all in your garden and let it sit there all winter. A lot of it'll break down. In the summer, you're going to turn it into the soil. People are like, oh, you don't want to put the leaves in there because you rub all the nitrogen. That's why you're putting the grass clippings in there too, feeding the nitrogen. You're basically composting in place, and that's what you need. Just tons and tons and tons of organic material. That will help. And again, there's nothing we can do about heavy rains or high humidity. Fungus, you're going to have to get yourself a fungicide, some copper sulfate type spray and spray your plants if you've got that problem. I mean, that's it. But chances are, if anything you don't have surviving now is you're done. You're not going to be able to replant a lot of your stuff. You're not going to grow anything from seed. And by this point of year, most of the nurseries have already sold out or taken out all their vegetable starts. All right. North Alabama hiking. Did I see the article from Fox News that Iran sleeper cells might actually target rural areas because they think they're less protected? You just, you already know what tomorrow morning's video is about, which I've already recorded too. So I talk about that specifically, and I'll let you wait for that because that's a long conversation. Jacqueline McLean, what do we use to help produce flowers in yellow squash? I don't know how you're going to help produce flowers. If it's not flowering at all, the chances are you don't have enough nitrogen to the plants. Uh, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that the plants aren't strong enough to produce flowers, and you're talking about the green growth right there. So I I'd give it a good dose of 10-10-10 is what I do, I think. And your short fertilizer is going to be my best guess. Only in my dreams, what is the minimum wattage of a solar generator if I want to use it with a 1500-watt heater? Well, you're comparing apples and oranges. Okay. Obviously, if you want a 15-watt heater, you need at least a generator that will put out 1500 watts. Okay. So, you know, a Delta 2 or whatever that puts out 1300 watts, not going to work. So, something that's going to be put out more power than what you put out more than what you're trying to take. So, you need something that's got over 1500 watts. But then also, you need to figure out how long you want to run it. This is where watt hours come into play. So, if you found yourself an 1800-watt generator, it would run your 1500-watt heater for about, oh, what, an hour and 12 minutes. Because it if it's an 1800 if it's got 1800 watt hours and it's an eight let's just say it's an 1800 watt hour and 1800 watts, which you're never going to find it's exactly the same, but just doing the math. We can do it this way. Say it's 1500 watts and a 1500 watt hours. It will run a 15 watt appliance for 1 hour. That's it. Okay. So there's two things you got to look at: how long you want to run something and how much power. But yes, if you want to run a 1500-watt heater, you need something that's going to put out at least 1500 watts. Jennifer Espinosa question: is Rudy of Alaska Prepper okay? Haven't seen him in a while. I don't have any more information than you guys do, guys. I know he hasn't been up. The only thing I've heard, and this is coming from you guys, is that he had some sort of surgery. That's it. But he's calling me up and telling me what's going on in his personal life. I don't. Kevin Little, having a lot of radishes. Used the greens with cabbage, carrot, and jalapeno. Made a lot of kraut. Can't wait till it's right there. You go. Yeah, I love radishes. God knows we eat radishes around here. Uh, I've had the funny part is I've had good years growing them, and I've had years where nothing grows. I mean, that's anything around here. I mean, I told you guys about my cucumbers. This year it's a bumper crop. Last year I got like two. So you never know. That's, that's half the fun, but it's also half the frustration of gardening. Could I make it as a farmer? I mean, I'm saying not with the property I have. Would I want to be a farmer? I've got all the respect in the world for farmers because I just can't imagine planting everything, doing all the work, and then getting no production. You go, oh my God, I got to live on this. So yeah, not something I'd want to do for a career. I got all the respect in the world for those that do. Dale from Ohio, how much longer will Pam Bondi be Attorney General after the Epstein goof up? She's losing credibility fast. Uh, I mean, for the first 2 months, it was like nothing was getting done except, go make your next Fox News, you know, uh, appearance. And people got really pissed about that. We wanted to see some heads roll, because there's all this corruption. And it's now been 6 months, and we have yet to see a single arrest. And I think eventually Trump is going to see this, and the pressure is going to get to him. It's like we all had high hopes for Pam Bondi, and she completely failed us. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, I'm a no confidence vote at this point. I haven't seen her do anything, and I had high hopes for her. Jerry Spinoza, can Blue Eddie and Opus be hooked together? No, you're not going to use the battery from an add-on battery from one with another one. You're talking too, too easy to fry something at that point. Missy B, I mean, you could use them. I mean, you can own both of them. I mean, it's not a big deal, but you really shouldn't, you can't use one battery with another generator because the cords don't match and, those don't. Missy B, my feeders are usually packed with hummingbirds this time of year. I've seen two this year. Anyone else experiencing this? Uh, we have hummingbirds, and Mrs. P feeds them, but we've only got a couple. A few years ago, we had maybe six. The last couple of years, we've seen two or three. But yeah, I mean, I remember being in Utah, and I mean, you have 20 hummingbirds buzzing around the feeder. So we get them. We have them here, but not that many. So I less than before, but not, not significantly. Rock. Do I think the price of beef will ever come down? No. I mean, again, like we talked about the other day, when our head of cattle in this country right now is the same as it was in 1950, we have more than twice the population, the same amount of cows. Supply and demand says no, and it's not like you can change that in a year, in 2 years. I mean, you figure, gestation period for a cow is 9 months, all right, just like a human being. So there's nine months that you got to put up till you have a calf. Then the calf has got to grow. I mean, to try to rebuild the herd, I mean, there's 2 to 3 years right there just to do it. And it's not like dogs; they don't have legs. So no, I don't see the price of beef coming down. Not anytime in the near future. Let's put it Jan Rudd, I ordered the new Blue Eddy, new to the solar scene. So, what panels do you recommend for this? you're going to have, okay, and again, generators running through my head. What is it? The one I did the other day, what's that? That thing takes like 800 watts of input. I mean, please understand, guys, I don't have all of these committed to memory. Uh, I mean, I've probably reviewed 40 or 50 different generators. Every one of them's got different solar inputs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing that you've got to look at about panels, and this is why you've got to research this stuff, is you got to find the right voltage, the right amperage, and you've got to learn the difference between series and parallel because you know you might find one that's high panels that are close to the height and or close to the max in amperage, but not as much volt. So you need to figure out whether you have to run panels in series or in parallel because you're not going to go get one 800-watt panel. You're going to probably have to get two 400s or four 200 panels. And then how do you use? Again, do you connect to series or in parallel? It depends on the wattage and the amperage. So I can't, again, and I don't know, are you talking about portable panels? Are you talking about rooftop panels? I don't know exactly what you're asking. Uh, the portable panel I like is the 12 C-band panel. It's a 120-watt panel, but that's something that takes 800 watts. You can put six, yeah, six of those together. Not that I'd suggest doing that because that would be just crazy. It's bigger panels, but otherwise it's going to take forever to charge it. There's a lot of the when it comes to the panels, guys. A lot of learn what can work, what it cannot work. Okay, because everybody's situation is different. Krista Ballard, I'm getting pummeled. Just lost power. No problems. No, there you go. It's like we talked about this morning. Like I don't know. This runs on solar, so it didn't. It did. I didn't know. Batteries. What is my elevation? I'm at 1,100 feet. I think 1,103 or something like that. Eric Witt, hey Pinball, have you seen those cherry trees from Greece? I think they grow cherries based on leaves. No, I haven't. If you know what they're called, email me. I'd be interested. I love these. I'd be interested to see if they grow here. If they're in Greece, that's a warm. So it's about the same. Yeah, they're pretty close to the same parallel as I am. Yeah, if you know the name of them, I'd like to look those up. So I've got no problem. Shit. Are we still here? I'm hoping we're still here. Guys, are we somebody mods, Prep Rebel, Robert, somebody tell me you can still hear me. I just lost the internet connection and I came back. Somebody tell me that you can still hear me. All right, Sears says 5 by 5. Okay, good. All right, good. Okay. Sorry about that. I said all of a sudden I got this aw snap. I'm like, oh no. Uh come on. I can't read the whole name. Was it the logical? I'm assuming something. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I want the audience to write this question down and spread it. Why are the FBI whistleblowers Garrett O'Boyle, Stephen Friend, Marcus Allen, and Mr. Levitt not being reinstated? I can't answer that because I really don't know anything about what's going on with them. So I'm going to pass on that question. Sorry, but if you know more than us, please share. Back to basics. Jefferson City in my county put a notice out asking everyone to conserve water, better be prepping water. Yes, and water is a very difficult prep. You know this. We've talked about this many, many, many times because it's not small, it's very heavy, you know, and so you have to come up with other ways to do it. So going and getting a couple of cases of water, a case of water at Walmart, that's great. How many cases do you need? You know, and we've talked about this before about the average gallons of water that are used today. Is I mean, they'll say, "Oh, a gallon of water a day." No, six. Okay, that's what you should be shooting for per person. That's to cook, to clean, to bathe. Okay, and that's even if you're just taking washing your pits, and that's it. But you still need to cook. You're still going to flush a toilet. You need water somewhere. If it rains, you've got water collection. Great. But even if you're putting it in 55-gallon drums, how many 55-gallon barrels do you have of water? You got IBC totes. Great. I've got an IBC tote. Holds 250 gallons of water. That's okay. That'll last me a little bit, but not terribly long. And I've got places to put it. Not everybody does. That's the other thing. So water is a tough one. Or when we get droughts, like in Texas right now, Kerrville was in a drought. Water is tough to come by. What are you going to do when you turn the faucet on and nothing comes out? Florida homesteading, cloud seeding needs to stop. Preaching to the choir. I totally agree with you. Bring back Matt Gates. Just don't bring back Jeff Sessions. Let's put it that way. Uh, Tad Case, do I believe in the rapture of the church? Yes, I do. Caveman, look, Trump is on video saying Trump is on video saying, "Why are we talking about Jeffrey Epstein?" I don't understand what the question is. Kitsy Witty, what do I think of the USA importing Mexican cattle? I did a video on that the other day, and I said absolutely no. You want to import the beef, that's fine, but that was, as I said in the video, that's the big four meat producers that they want to import the cattle so they can make the money butchering it. The problem is when you import the cattle, you're also importing the screw worm, and then we introduce the screw worm to the U.S. cattle supply. No, you want to bring Mexican beef into the United States. You slaughter it down in Mexico. You pack it down in Mexico. You radiate it as it comes across, so there's no diseases in it, just like you do with every other organic thing that comes across the border. None of this the corruption here of the big four paying off the USDA members to say, yeah, we'll bring in live cattle. No, I mean, think about this. Has anybody ever tried to take an animal, your dog or your cat, across the border? And obviously, when Mrs. P came here, she brought her cat. Holy crap! What we had to go through to bring a cat. Do you honestly think they're going to do all these medical tests and quarantines and everything like that for tens of thousands of heads of cattle in Mexico? And be like, it's a go. Yeah, I'll sign off on that. No big deal. Oh, cartel's going to give me 10 grand to do it? Cool, I'm good. Hell no. You don't bring any of these cattle over here. That is the most moronic thing I have heard. I mean, that's why I said that's got to stop. We all had. I got a hold of both my senators and my congressman. And I'm like, do not let this happen. Fire everybody at the USDA who said this is good. Uh, BJ Disney, how much have I heard about a cartel invading a Texas town near El Paso? Nothing. I have not. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Juarez is one of the most dangerous cities in the world. Uh, but no, I have not heard anything about them overrunning El Paso. I mean, it's not. that wouldn't be. I mean, I was stationed at Fort Bliss for 2.5 years. Granted, it was almost 40 years ago now, but it's not like El Paso didn't have a very, very large Hispanic community. Kitsy Witty, did I buy anything good on the Amazon Prime deal sale today? No, I did not. Mrs. P and I have been saving every penny we can because we want to get that well put in for the pond. So there, there's no, gee, I'd like to get this. The only thing I've bought from Amazon lately is this microphone. And so that's a business expense as far as I'm concerned. That one had to be done. Okay. Shot to the bottom. All right. Looking to see what we got. Caveman, look, pinball. My tape poisoning of the Marines at Lejeune, Camp Lejeune. Uh, I'm assuming you're talking about the one that's been going on for years. That there's a class action lawsuit stuff on. If there's something new, I don't know. Uh, but yeah, no, that's a crock of shit. That the way they're taking care of the troops. I mean, it still frustrates me more than anything else that, and again, I can't say currently. I can go back 40 years, but the food in the chow hall was good. Not restaurant or anything like that, but it was healthy, nutritious, tasted halfway decent food. Okay, uh, but the the living standards in some places. I mean, when I was at DLI language school, they had just moved into a new set of barracks. Those were nice. Okay, when I got to Fort Huachuca, when I got to Fort Bliss, this was old 1950s concrete barracks. I mean, cinder block walls and concrete floors, and that was it. And it's like you got to clean this stuff. Okay, that's great, but there's not. You can't really clean something too well when the laminate floor is peeling up. You know, that always bothered me. I don't know if it's changed now, but I really, my personal opinion, and I think it's probably still the same, is soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, whatever, are asked a hell of a lot more out of them than they are given back by the government. At least give them decent living standards. The food was okay. The pay has always sucked, but at least give them something quality. And when you get guys get poisoned, that's just somebody shortchanging something somewhere. All right. Do. Linda Bop, it's nearly time to say goodnight, Mrs. Pinball and Mrs. Pinball, moderator figure. Hopefully, something can be done with the microphone. I'm not seeing that we had any problems. It looks like it was okay. Uh, Jacqueline McLean, can I show the water containment on a video? I need ideas. It's just an IBC tote. It's a big 275-gallon block. Uh, you know, Probably seen it when I got videos in the garage before. Mark Levin for Attorney General. Mark Levin's a smart guy. I think I need somebody that's got a hell of a lot more oomph. Uh, got to the end. Let's see. The new beginning. Fort Bliss is still the same. I was there 2007, 2008. Uh, I forget what the 88 battalion that was there, but I mean, obviously a lot of things have changed. I don't know. Is Third Armored Cav still there? Because it used to be Third Armored Cav, and I forget what the designator was for the 88 battalion, but that was it. My unit has long since gone to Fort Carson, Colorado. Uh, so no idea at that point. But all right, guys, it is 9 o'clock, so we will see you all in the morning. if this storm happens or not. Getting all the thunder, but I'd really like to see some rain. Have a good evening, y'all. Pinball out.